Tequila peeps, Tequila Hombre here, and today we're doing a special barrel selection for the Gran Reserva Extra Añejo from Casa San Matias, and I'm here in the Casa San Matias Secret Hombre tasting room. So here, this is the way we do the barrel select, so here we go. All right, so the first one is A.
A.
Okay.
If you want to start with the nose, well, the color first, yeah, and the legs.
Yes. So first, if you look at the glass, it coats the glass beautifully there. Looks good. Color. It's a nice light amber color. Now this is all French oak. So I am definitely picking up the cinnamon and baking spices on the nose. But then a nice kind of a cherry, sweet cherry note coming through on it. Vanilla, caramel coming through. Butterscotch, it smells like the candy butterscotch discs. Now keep in mind, this is additive free. There's no additives used in this. This is all coming from the wood. All right, it smells really good. So let's take a taste and see what we get. Cinnamon, baking spices. This coats the mouth really nicely. Definitely picking up some like cherry notes, but this is more on the Bing, like the more of the tart cherry notes that are coming through on the flavor. Vanilla, caramel, and the caramel sitting on the tongue, and there's just an overtone of butterscotch. Definitely more butterscotch coming through on the nose than on the palate. This one's got a little bit of heat to it, which is nice because it just kind of carries the flavor profile through. But this is a nice one. This is good. So barrel A is good. All right, so now on to barrel B. And this one here, we can, like I said, we always taste with our eyes, our nose, our mouth, all senses. And a little side note too, you know when you clink the glass, that's because they want you to taste with your ears too. And so that's actually to add that sense into the mix, if you didn't know that. All right, so looking at this in the glass, coats the glass beautifully. You can see it's gonna have a viscous mouth feel to it. The legs are just starting to break on it. Looking at the tequila, it's crystal clear, and then Umberto wanted me to put a white background behind it so you can see how beautiful the tequila is. So it's kind of like a slight light amber straw mix color on it, kind of a golden color. On the nose. This one's got a lighter nose than the last one. There's definitely the cinnamon and baking spices cooked agave note on it. I'm picking up more of a vanilla and caramel coming through, kind of like a cream soda note. Butterscotch is definitely present as well. And I even put like a fruit, like a dried apricot in there as well. It smells nice. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. This one coats the mouth nicely. Definitely picking up the cooked agave, which I always look for cooked agave first to come through. Then definitely like a dried apricot or dried ripe fruit comes in next. Picking up some vanilla. A hefty caramel note on this that just kind of sits on the tongue. And then a strong butterscotch note, as if you were taking a butterscotch disc and putting it on your tongue and just kind of letting it disintegrate. You get this kind of beautiful, creamy butterscotch sensation on your tongue on the finish. And it sits there for a while. This one has less heat than the first one does. But it sits there for a while, and it's, matter of fact, it's still there now. It's got a nice long finish to it. I definitely think the finish on this one is longer than the finish on Barrel A. So I think I'm leaning towards this one right now as being my favorite so far. But we still have 4 more barrels to taste, so stay tuned. All right, so now we're working on Barrel C. A and B were good. B, I think, is better. So now we're going to take a look at Barrel C. All of these are 40%, but our barrel will be 90 proof, 45%. So, but they diluted the samples down for the tasting, just so I don't get trashed while I'm here in the Casa San Matias tasting room and embarrass myself. So, no, I would never do that. All right, so looking at it in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. It's taking a second for the legs and tears to break. Now, a little tip for those of you that didn't know this too. If you're married, they're called tears. And if you're not married, they're called legs. So it's a little joke from the tequila world. So looking at the tequila itself, Roberto didn't get that one. He's happily married, so am I. So it's got a nice caramel coloring to it, so it looks kind of like a amber caramel color, which looks nice. Crystal clear, looks good on the nose. This nose on this one, I think, is the lightest of the 3 so far, but definitely picking up the cooked agave right off the bat. Light vanilla. Definitely light butterscotch and caramel in there. This one tends to be more sweety and dessert-like, I think. I'm not picking up much fruit on this one, but the nose on this one's definitely fainter than the first 2. Maybe if I swirl a little more, I can pick up some more notes on it. All right, I'm picking up a little more now. Yeah, definitely like a sweet cherry is coming through now. Vanilla, caramel, butterscotch. Even kind of like a honey note coming through on it. So it's definitely on the sweeter side, I think. It smells good. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Coats the mouth nicely. Starting off with a little heat, a little pepper coming through from it. I'm getting some cinnamon and baking spices cooked agave up front, followed by a light cherry, hints of vanilla and caramel coming through, and then kind of a nice butterscotch note on the finish. This one seems to be a little lighter than the previous 2 as far as what flavors and stuff are coming through. And it's definitely more towards the caramel and vanilla side of things on the flavor profile. And it has a little bit of heat. Not as much heat as the first one, but more heat than the second one. So this one's not bad, but I still think I prefer B so far. So that's Barrel C. All right, so now we're working on Barrel D. This is very hard work, you guys. Just want to let you know, I'm making this sacrifice for you guys. So it's tough work to do, but somebody's got to do it, and I'm willing to do it for you guys. So looking at it in the glass, coats the glass beautifully. This one's also viscous. You know, I think all of these are probably going to be viscous, so we could probably just skip this in the next barrels, right? Because it's Gran Reserva. This is good stuff. So looking at the color, it is caramel, like a light, more of a medium, maybe medium amber color to it. Looks really good. And I have to do this while two people are staring at me to see what I put extra pressure on me. You can't see them, but they're sitting here staring at me. All right, so cooked agave, definitely on the nose. This one's got a nice, so Rocio's keeping her secret notes herself to see how well I do. So there's extra pressure there too, because she's an expert at this stuff. Definitely, I guess we definitely pick up a lot of vanilla on this, a lot of caramel, butterscotch, rich butterscotch. There's definitely a hint of cherry in there as well, but like sweet fruit, sweet, like even berries. I'd even go like a raspberry, a sweet raspberry, like a super ripe raspberry. This one smells really good. It's definitely, I think, for me, more on the sweeter side. Keep in mind, again, this is all additive free. There's no additives. So this is all coming from the wood. And Rocio, remind me, it's new French oak barrels that you use for the Gran Reserva, right?
Yes.
So this is new French oak that are hand selected for the Gran Reserva. It smells really good. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Coats the mouth beautifully. This has a really rich flavor profile for me. It just coats the mouth beautifully, but all the flavors are really a lot stronger, I'm finding, in this than in the previous ones. There's definitely like a dried fruit that's coming through, like something that's got more of a tart and bitterness to it, so like an apricot kind of dried fruit. Definitely a hint of like more of a tart, like a Bing cherry versus like a maraschino, so it's more of a tart cherry note coming through too. Definitely getting vanilla, caramel, a nice butterscotch coating on the tongue. And there's even a hint, even picking up like a hint of anise coming into it. The black licorice notes mixed in the middle. This one for me seems to be a lot more bolder and richer in the flavor profile, but still pretty balanced too, because you still pick up the cinnamon and baking spices from the cooked agave. So this one's actually nice. The heat on it is pretty much very minimal, but whatever little heat that there is there, it's really helping to explode the flavor profile on this. I like this one a lot. Rocio's shaking her head yes, so I think I got it right. All right, so now we're working on barrel E. Okay, so so far I think barrel D is going to be the winner so far. And I had to turn the camera off, but Rocio agrees. She agrees with me. And if Rocio agrees, I'm doing things right. She had to leave. She's got a little bit of a cough, but she'll be back, I'm sure. So looking at this in the glass, there she is. Coats the glass beautifully. Legs and tears are forming on it. Looks great. And I have to keep Umberto happy, so I have to do the white background. It does have a nice amber color to it, a little caramelish. Looks beautiful, crystal clear. No floaties, which is always good. All right, on the nose on this one. This one has an interesting minerality that's coming through on the front of it with the cooked agave. But it's definitely like the water, I think, is becoming a lot more present in the nose on this. It has a really nice minerality. And then on the nose, I'm picking up more of like a cherry licorice, like a Twizzlers, kind of note to it, which is kind of interesting. And then I'm definitely picking up a little hint of vanilla. Some more dried fruit. This is more going to be fruit rich. Yeah, definitely a lot of fruit in this, like apricot and even raspberry. Maybe a hint of strawberry in there as well. Definitely rich in berry and fruit notes, dried berry and fruit notes. And then I'm picking up vanilla, definitely some caramel, and a little hint of a butterscotch on the end of it. This one's interesting. This one's has me interested. So I want to see what this tastes like. So let's see what we get on the flavor palette. Super creamy and silky on the mouthfeel. Definitely got cooked agave notes coming through. But honestly, on the flavor profile, it's not there. This is the right one. I put it down over here.
Oh, okay.
This is F right here. I moved it so I didn't knock F over accidentally. Yeah, I'm getting more vanilla and caramel, but not a lot of the fruit notes that I picked up in the nose coming through on it, and the flavor. Barrel E, you kind of let me down. What's going on, Barrel E? I think it needs a little more time in the barrel. I don't know. It's good. Definitely vanilla and caramel and butterscotch that are coming through, but I'm not picking up a lot of the fruit notes and stuff that I got on the nose on this one. I don't know, maybe it would be different at 90 proof? No? Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. It's good. The nose is great. If I could take the nose on this and match it up with another one, I think it would just make the other one a lot better. The nose is great, but the flavor profile is not as complex as the nose is. All right, so that's Barrel E, and we'll come back for Barrel F here. All right, so now we're on to the last barrel, Barrel 5. This work is hard work, and I just want to let you guys know I'm doing the work for you. I'm taking the sacrifice. I'm punishing myself for this. Not really punishing myself, but All right, so here we go. This is barrel number 6. So all of these are 40 proof, but let's take a look at Barrel F in the glass. Look at the coating on that. That looks great. Coats the glass really well. Tears and legs are starting to break on it here, especially like this side of the glass. Can you see that? Looking at the tequila itself, just like the other ones, caramel, slight amber hue to it. Crystal clear. Looks really good. All right, let's see what we get on the nose on this one. Definitely picking up the cinnamon and baking spices on the beginning of this one. It definitely has a dried fruit, like the apricots are coming through on this one. Maybe a little hint of some berries as well, dried berries. Definitely vanilla. Caramel coming through. Definitely butterscotch, nice butterscotch note. Even some dark chocolate, I think, coming through on this one. This one's nice. I like this one a lot. It's coming through nice on the nose. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Wow, nice viscous, oily mouthfeel. Cinnamon and baking spices from the cooked agave is right up front. Definitely like a sweet dried apricot note coming through, vanilla, caramel, a little hint of butterscotch on it, which I love the butterscotch note from French oak. Little to no burn at all on this. It's very, as those of you that like to use the word, I don't like it, but you guys can use it, smooth. It's very smooth. Very nice flavor profile. This one's, I think, is a lot more balanced, too, with the flavors kind of melding together more versus having one that sticks out more than the other. Yeah, this is really nice. This is really good. All right, so for me, I think we're narrowing it down to between F and D, I think, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get back with the showdown between F and D. All right, so now we're doing the battle of the barrels. We're down to barrel D and barrel F for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective Selection. And Rocio brings an honorary mention in for B because she really likes this one. She says this one's more for like those that want a more balanced extra neo that would pair up nicely with food or with a cigar. So we'll bring that one into the mix too, but we'll see which one we like here. We may even buy 2 barrels. So so let's check out D and F first, because these are the ones are more like a dessert extra neo, so something to enjoy after dinner, paired with a nice stogie as well. So D first. You guys have already seen what it looks like, so I'm not going to show you anymore. So this one's really got a nice nose on it. Both of the noses on these are really good. Rocio seems to have selected F. But we'll see. I like D. F is really good too. So let's see what we get on the flavors. Oh, beautiful caramel butterscotch. So rich on the flavor profile from D. It's really good. Really good. On F, let me do a little palate cleanse. F is really good too, and I think F is probably more balanced as far as the cooked agave notes go, with the fruit and with the vanilla and caramel. D is more heavily on the sweeter, the caramel and vanilla notes. It has a little more heat to it as well. Less heat, I think more manageable on the F side, but still a really nice, robust flavor profile. Everything, I think, is more balanced on F and tends to be more on the sweeter side from the wood on D. So I think F's going to be our winner for today. Yeah, I think F. And then for honorable mention, we have to give Rocio the respect she deserves. And maybe we'll do 2 barrels. What do you guys think? 2 barrels? This one does smell really good. B. It's a little different. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot lighter. This would be more, I think, better as like an aperitif, like before dinner, as a palate enhancer. It's not as robust and bold as DNF. So maybe we'll consider that as an additional barrel for doing 2 barrels. What do you guys think? Vote on this. Let's vote on it. If we need 2 barrels, we'll get 2 barrels. But which, does that sound like something? Do you want a lighter barrel and a heavier barrel, or just kind of like a really good extra añejo barrel of the Gran Reserva 90 proof, and just do 1 barrel? You guys let me know. Post in the comments. Let's do a vote, and then we'll let Casa San Matias know if we want to order 2 or 1. Okay? And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you ever want to pick up Casa San Matias anything, the Toona, the 135th anniversary, Añejo that's out, the Gran Reserva, Blanco, which we're selling like crazy now off of fermented still, any of them, pick them up and you'll be in good shape. Salute.